back, folks. Well, today we're gonna get back on our 68 Barracuda. I'm waiting on brake lines to come in for the Mustang. I got some things going on with our Gen 3 Hemi, then we'll try to share another big find that try to share with you on that video for the Hemi. But back on the Barracuda today, where we're waiting on parts for other projects. So right now we're in the middle of, we pretty much cinched up the headlights. We need to go ahead and put it in the loom, but the headlights, parking lights, bullets on the front of the car have now been installed per the American Autowire kit. Now we're working on the back. Just picked up some bulbs and we're gonna wire both the tail lights, the bullets, and the reverse lights. So let's get started. Everybody knows we've already got our driver's side bullet, rear bullet wired up right here with the fitting. We've got the tail light now right here wired up, and now I'm about to do the reverse light. Again, this takes a lot of not thinking, but taking your time, because you see a lot of these terminals are going to share, like say for instance the ground on all three of these, right? So we're going to get this last one, which is the reverse light, done, and then we're going to make our ground. But this is where you really got to pay attention and where you want to land all your wires. So now we're going to get the reverse light going. I've got to share a ground from the tail light here and this one here, and then our green one, which is here, it's going to be activated by the switch, reverse light switch. It's got the other one in the terminal there. So I know kind of where I want to land the ground wire that shares with the reverse light. So this is coming from the tail light, and it's also grounded in with the bullet. So I've cut it about right there. This is going to be our ground that grounds all three of these lights on the, basically on the driver's side. So I'm using my Terminator little splicers here. Good tool to have. Then once we terminate it, it's going to go in like that, and you hear it click. I like to twist these together like so. Now we'll get our, we need to get our thick terminators. These are for your wide terminals. Let's see if we can get this in. There it goes. Now let's do the part that goes with the wire. And I like to give it the other part to really squeeze down on it. These are from American Autowire. Now we're just squeezing these crimps in a little bit better. All right, look at that. Passes the tug test. Make sure that when you're running the double wires to use the fat one right here. This fat terminal right here accommodates double wires. And then you also want to make sure you put it in the right connector, which is this one here. Shows you for your reverse light right here. What I like to do, because some of these are different, before I start just crimping and wasting these things, I want to make sure they fit. If you look right there, that tongue goes right into that slot, and it's just going to snap in once we terminate it. It's going to go in like that, and you hear it click. Now we know the black is going to go in the top. You see it right here. Black in the top, and our green's going to go in the bottom. I'm not going to insert them yet, so I'll get them both terminated. All right, now American Autowire gives you plenty of extra wire. So this is our, and it says backup light. So I've got plenty coming across to do the driver's side. You're gonna have a lot of extra wire. They are very, very generous. So I'm gonna cut, I don't need much. I just need to go basically from the green wire coming from over here. Actually from here, we're gonna look at this. Yeah, so mainly the main green wire right here coming from, so basically is this one right here. We'll probably go ahead and pull some out, cut, go to here. Very simple. Very, very simple. is. Yeah, it looks about good right there. Again, take your time. So the green one's going to go in the bottom slot, and the black is going to go in the top. So just like they have it right here, I'm about to put these in. These have to come in from the back because this locks in, actually comes in this way. So I've got to come in from the back this way. You see there where the slot's at for the tongue. So just to make sure, yep, make sure this goes on like that, and it does. So put this one on the bottom. Click. And then this tongue goes into the top. Click. Now wire a reverse light. There it is. I don't know if you heard the click, but it clicked. Make sure we pass the tug test right here. Looks like we're good. All right. Again, take your time. So the green one's going to go in the bottom slot, and the black is going to go in the top. So just like they have it right here, I'm about to put these in. Right. Now we're going to kind of take things to the next level. I've always used those crappy sheet metal screws. That's just no way to do it. I hate those things. I was watching Jamie's Dead Dodge Garage, and he came up, he said, hey, I love this tool. It's it's not this specific tool, but a rib nut gun tool. This way it gives us some threads, it looks nicer, it's cleaner. I'm trying to get away from all those crappy fasteners, so let's step it up, be a little more professional. So I bought this off Amazon. It's called a Nextac Rivet Nut Gun. So we're gonna get this thing open, see what we need. We're gonna drill some rib nuts into the Barracuda for the 2 ground leads that go for all the taillight assembly. So this Nextac rib nut tool, it's pretty simple. Now instead of a stupid sheet metal screw, we've got a nice 1/4-20 thread here. Using a 1/4-20 rib nut on the other side, so they provide you with a hole drill. Let's do a little bit at a time. Just want it because I want it snug. It's not going to squeeze up. It's not snug. And there it is. Close enough right there. Okay, now we're going to get our tool on. And here it is. So for the reverse lights, I stopped at our trusty O'Reilly's. For reverse lights, I believe it's an 1156. So we're going to put that in for reverse. And then both tail lights are the 1157s dual pole. Here's our reverse. And here comes our tail light. Bingo. Front headlights are now wired. Tail lights are all now wired. Obviously, we don't have our switch in the instrument clusters at Dakota Digital, but we got it loosely done up here. We still got a lot to clean up, cinch up. I need to get some more conduit. But one thing on the headlights, big mistake that I did, I should have gone ahead and put new headlights in while I had the buckets out. You saw we did a video how to change the headlights in a 2nd gen Barracuda. It's not bad, but you know, these things were these headlights have been in there since 1989. So the driver's side has a high beam is out. So I'm gonna get some new headlights. In the back, we have got it pretty much knocked out now. Now I did leave, I've got a couple things here. This is for the 3rd tail light, which I obviously don't have. I don't know if I'll use this for anything at all, so probably terminate this somewhere in the harness. This here is for our fuel gauge, right there. So one thing I don't like about this, the replacements that I got, as well as the ones that came with Dakota Digital, they are sloppy the way they fit in these things. They just, same way in the front. The bullet sockets, they're sloppy. So I'm gonna have to do some finagling there. But let's get this thing, get my power probe set up. I got technical difficulty. Could not figure out why the driver's side parking lamp was dimmer than the passenger side. And then, of course, got my head out. I had one of the wires crossed for the parking light versus the blinker. That's what it was. Good grief. That's why you gotta pay attention. Even paying attention, it's down to the details. But here we go. Let's see what we got. So let's check our headlights here, I believe. Got headlights. And let's check these. Let's check these parking lamps and the bullets. All right. So we got everything on the front. All right. Now let's check the back. Let's check these parking lamps and the bullets. All right. So we got everything. All right, now let's check to see if we got the taillights working. Remember, I don't have a flasher set up. The instrument cluster's not here. I'm just powering it up through the taillight harness on here. So let's see how it looks. Should have the bullets. And now, let's check out the horseshoes. Those are reverse. All right. So you can see now we got our tail lights hooked up, bullets, reverse lights, everything. I do have one light coming out. This is going to be for the tail light, or the license plate light right here. I'll cut that and do what I need to do with it. And we've also got the wire for the fuel tank. I've got it there waiting for, that'll be later down the road, we get the new Holley EFI tank. And then I have a third brake light. Not putting a third brake light in this car. I don't really, it's switched, so I don't really see any use for that. So that's it, folks. We got that part of our American Autowire kit. Headlight, tail lights are done. Now, once our instrument cluster comes in, we're gonna be wiring up all the switches for headlights, wipers, and in the Dakota Digital, we'll go directly to the terminator. That's gonna make it easy. I am gonna order the new Classic Autowire, I think is what it is, for this car. I think that's the brand, I can't remember. They do make a kit for this car. Guys on 4A Bodies Only sent me templates, sent me everything. So I'm gonna order that because I'm here. And we've gotta have that wired up. We'll get the radio, the speakers, all that good stuff. We're actually the very last thing to wire. We still got the dome light to wire. And we've got, of course, our door jamb switches for the dome light. So yeah, quite a few things. But headlight and tail light that could take you a bit. So anyway, I hope y'all got something out of this. Please like, share, and subscribe. This is the American Autowire harness for A bodies 67 through 69, I think. So it's going along really well. The only mistakes have been my mistakes, not paying close enough attention. So everybody have a great weekend, and thanks for sharing.